You want to put that thing, Terry, just in new business
What was that? Oh, yeah.
about the Everclear budget or something? Okay. We'll call the Budget Committee meeting to order for May 19th. My name is Brooke Harris. First order of business is the roll call, please.
Mr. Harris,
Here.
Mr. Curran, Mrs. Burdick,
Here.
Mr. Fanton, Mr. Ricky,
Here.
Mr. Stockin, Mr. Crandall. 6 members present, 1 absent.
Thank you. Next order of business is the approval of minutes from the April 21st meeting. I'd ask for a motion. Thank you, Mr. Ricky, seconded by Mr. Stockin. Any comments or corrections? If not, all those in favor say aye. Opposed? They're approved. County Treasurer Terry Ross, start with sales tax, please.
Excuse me, your sales tax report is in your packet, and for the end of May, we did see a significant amount of money received for our sales tax over what we had received last year for the same month, which is about $723,000. That's our gross. Out of this time period, we had both the AIM payments came out and the first quarter of the distressed hospital. So overall, if you look at gross, we're up about 15.7%. If you look at net, taking out all those diversions, which they like to call them, we're at 10.8% above where we were at last year at this time.
Pretty good. And did you say you were going to check and see if there was a correction?
I did send a note to my contact at Tax and Finance, and there was no adjustment that would have accounted for that, just sales.
Amazing. Okay, any questions or comments on the sales tax? Ms. Hopkins?
Yes, Ms. Treasurer. Is there any way of determining how this increase or how this better report might be attributed to the travel center? Do they separate the amounts for gasoline, diesel, or anything like that?
We do get a report occasionally on different categories, and I know I've shared that with you from NISAC. We don't have an up-to-date one on the categories. I think we gave one in April, which was for the first quarter. We will get that again. I'm assuming that some of that is from the Quicklies, but you cannot, we don't get that information to be able to determine exactly what vendors are up and what vendors are down. So we don't have anything to share on that because we're a countywide collection center basically for sales tax. So we don't get that diverted down. But NISAC will report on that eventually about the categories of
Great,
sales tax.
thank you.
Yep.
Okay, any other questions on the sales tax? If not, on to revenue.
Yes, I've attached the revenue report through April 30th for your review. This is general fund only. And I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. I believe we're in good shape at this point. We have some quarterly reports for grants and stuff that come out. Usually they're done in April. This does reflect those that have been submitted in April. Does not take into account any that were submitted in May. But we're right now at about 39% of their receipts for revenues, and we know how fluctuating those are depending on what's seasonal and what gets paid when. Last year at this time, we were about 40.5 million. We've received about 38.7 at this point for our general fund.
Okay.
I've also included the expense report. That's a summarized expense report by category. And we are at 39% of our expenses that have been paid. Last year, we had paid out about 40 million too. This year, we're about 38.8. You'll remember though that last year at this time, we were spending significant amounts of money for PPE and everything else that we needed for COVID. So we're not doing that this year. So I'm assuming that part of that is the expenses that were not incurred this year, like they were last year. So, but we're in good shape.
Okay, any questions on that? If not, any old business? And I believe Ms. Ross has something in new business.
New business, Carissa and I have discussed the budget process for budget 2022, which is hard to say, but we're looking to having a department head meeting June 9th, where we'll present some of the information for the budget for 2022 and expect those to be returned to us between July 12th and July 19th. So we're going to go forward with that calendar and see what happens.
And then you have your hands on it for a couple of months
Correct,
before we get into budget hearing time.
correct.
Any questions or comments on that plan? If not, anything for the good of the order? I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Moved by Mr. Ricky, seconded by Ms. Burdick. Thank you. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you.